opponent will probably swap out. And they bring in the Excadrill, so here comes the Ho-Oh, sneaks in the Incinerate, oh my goodness, going to shield up the Rock Slide here, and probably just throw the Sacred Fire here, preserve the HP on this Ho-Oh. This is going to kill about 17 Excadrills. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content, mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like Justin_Bieber, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are shoutcasting a set of battles in the Open Master League featuring Sacred Fire Ho-Oh. These battles were submitted to the channel by Chris Rodriguez 27. Sacred Fire is another legacy move for Ho-Oh, and it is quite the upgrade over Earthquake. A lot of the matchups will remain the same or improve, and you also get a 50% chance of lowering the opponent's attack stat by 1. So you definitely do want to invest an Elite TM into a Sacred Fire Ho-Oh, and as you can see, it wins a lot of matchups here against the main meta in the Master League. So this thing is going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider leaving a like. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so we are running a Sacred Fire Ho-Oh in the lead here with Double Dragon in the back, Best Buddy Dialga and Giratina Origin. Mewtwo in the lead here. This is a pretty good matchup for the Ho-Oh. However, in the 2 shields, the Mewtwo is just going to outmuscle you with that side strike damage, able to outpace to those moves. You can see the first one does just over 50%. So going for the Sacred Fire right here. This thing actually has a very nice animation. I really like the look of that. Mewtwo is going to shield, and the Ho-Oh will shield up in return. Should be able to outpace to the move right now, and is going to go for the Brave Bird. This will either get the knockout or the shield from the opponent, and they decide to let the Mewtwo go down. So it does win switch right there. They come in with Dialga, swaps out into their own Dialga, and if they had a hard counter answer for Dialga here, you could be in a bit of trouble here, but they are going to decide to stay in, bait with the Iron Head, and that is a little bit unfortunate. Going to throw their own Iron Head right here, and the opponent decides to shield up as well. So the opponent probably will outpace here to the next Iron Head, but instead, oh my goodness, they swap out into Zekrom, and Dialga is able to reach the Draco Meteor. So that means, bang, there it is. Zekrom gets taken out. The opponent absolutely throwing that game, because Zekrom would have a very good matchup against that Giratina Origin in the back. Wow, I gotta go back and make sure it wasn't me he was battling, because that was an Ox throw type of move right there, but hey, it happens. We jump into the next battle, and we have Ho-Oh into a Dialga right here. So let's see how this match plays out. Of course, these matchups will play a little bit differently in the Open Master League as opposed to the Master League Classic, because most of these Pokemon should be at a much higher level here, close to level 50, if not already at level 50. That could flip a couple of these matches. The opponent is going to shield up the Sacred Fire right there, and Ho-Oh should get to the Sacred Fire just before the Dialga reaches the next move. The opponent decides to no shield, and that's going to take out the Dialga. They have Kyogre, which is going to come in here and farm down. Unfortunately for the opponent, 2 very solid answers in the back here to cover that water weakness. So Giratina comes in. This could be a potential Blizzard, so is going to respect that, shield up, and they are baited with the Surf. But CMP time means this Shadow Ball is going to register on the Kyogre. Bola Sombre, they're going to swap out into the Dragonite, and here comes Dialga. Now, if Dragonite has a move like Draco Meteor, that could be an issue here, because the opponent does have a 1 shield advantage. However, if they're running something like Dragon Claw plus Hurricane, Dialga is still going to have a decent matchup right here. It's going to lose, but it's going to put the Dragonite very low to the point where Giratina could just come back in and farm down. And that bit of energy should be enough to allow Giratina to outpace to the move against the Kyogre. You can see Dragonite basically at 0 HP right there. Kyogre comes back in, is already at the Shadow Ball, but decides to build up to 2 Omnis Winds, fishing for the boost. A little bit risky right there, because Kyogre, you never know, they could outpace to that Blizzard with a couple of hidden waterfalls or something, but is able to take that game quite comfortably in the end. Let's hop into the next battle. So we are leading Ho-Oh this time into a Melmetal, and this is a pretty interesting matchup right here. 1 Rock Slide will not knock out the Ho-Oh, so that allows you to not have to use 1 shield. They are going to shield up the first one. It is the Rock Slide. and they're going to build up to the Sacred Fire right here. This would definitely knock out the Melmetal, I believe, from this range. So they are going to, yeah, that would definitely be overkill from that range. And right here, they could survive one Rock Slide, as I mentioned. And let's see if they could outpace to this next Sacred Fire right here. They are going to be able to get to it, so probably if they decide to shield here, they'll probably just let the Ho-Oh go down, I'd imagine. And that is what happens. So no point to shield here. Going to let the Ho-Oh go down. Melmetal will win in the 2 shields. And Giratina comes in. They swap out into Dialga. And here comes their own Dialga. So let's see how they're going to play this out. This shouldn't be a Draco Meteor, but they are going to shield up. It is the Iron Head. Probably wanting to preserve the HP there. This is a pretty tight spot because you do need to get to another Iron Head to knock out that Melmetal in the back. Because Melmetal is going to try and outpace to the Superpower right here. So let's see if they can actually reach the Iron Head. And they are able to reach it. So will this be enough to take out the Melmetal though? Yes, it is. That's a huge break. Giratina in the back, going to do some chip damage, trying to swap out into their own Giratina. You can survive a Shadow Ball from this range. And with that chip damage from the Dragon Breath, the Shadow Ball coming from our own Giratina should be enough to knock out the opposing one and take this game. So Shadow Ball coming through, going to knock out the Giratina, able to start this set off with the 3-0. Let's hop into battle number 4. So jumping into the next battle, we are going to be leading Ho-Oh here into a Giratina Origin. This is a very bad lead to see for the Ho-Oh. So we are going to swap out into the Giratina Origin. And the opponent's staying in, so is able to get to this Shadow Ball. Let's see if the opponent respects this and decides to use a shield. They do. And is able to sneak in the extra Shadow Claw right there. I think this is going to be a bait. And it is, but you have to make the call right there. If it was Shadow Ball, obviously it would hurt a lot, but is able to still outpace to the next Shadow Ball despite the opponent baiting with the Omniswing. So that is a huge break right there. Is able to win the CMP tie and going to allow that Shadow Ball to go through. So going to wait out the switch timer right here and then come in with the Dialga. Opponent will probably swap out and they bring in the Excadrill. So here comes the Ho-Oh, sneaks in the Incinerate. Oh my goodness. Going to shield up the Rock Slide here. And probably just throw the Sacred Fire here, preserve the HP on this Ho-Oh. This is going to kill about 17 Excadrills. Bang! There it is, Excadrill getting destroyed. Melmetal in the back. Oh my gosh, you already know Ho-Oh survives a Rock Slide, which means it's going to get off the Sacred Fire, which means we're getting a very rare back-to-back. Bang! There it is, Melmetal taken out. Giratina comes back in. And Ho-Oh able to reach the Brave Bird. This may be a first on the channel. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Bang! There it is. Giratina getting destroyed with the Brave Bird. 4-0. Let's hop into battle number 5. Ho-Oh putting on a clinic. So it is going to be very difficult to top that last battle. Ho-Oh basically sweeping the team despite a very negative lead. This time we got Ho-Oh into Dialga. Going to build up here to the Sacred Fire, and the opponent almost guaranteed to shield this up. Now it depends if they're going to build up towards the Thunder Draco Meteor, and it looks like that is what the opponent has in mind. So is not able to get to the Sacred Fire here, CMP tie. If this is Iron Head, I feel like maybe you do survive, but it's definitely a risky call. If you survive, it kind of would make sense to no shield, but it's a huge risk. The Sacred Fire comes through. And there is no drop to the attack. The opponent does not decide to go for the farm down. Would have been very close there. I feel like Ho-Oh might have been able to reach the move. So they are going to get the guaranteed knockout. We take the shield advantage. This is only an Iron Head, so going to farm down. And Dialga with energy, unless you have something like a Steel type in the back, it is a pretty scary spot to be in. Even the Fairy type has to be afraid of the Iron Heads. But in this case, they do have the Steel type with Metagross. So going to tank this Draco Meteor very well and then swap out into the Giratina. I mean, I said very well, but that still did a lot of damage. Palkia in the back. This isn't the greatest spot to be in for the Giratina because of that Dragon Tail damage. However, with the shield advantage, it's a pretty comfortable spot, and they're not able to throw this Omniswing, so they are going to shield up here. And I imagine you just throw this Omniswing immediately and then try and do some chip damage with the Giratina onto the Metagross. hopefully put it in farm down range for Dragon Breath. The opponent is going to throw the Meteor Mash immediately. They actually go for the undercharge, which means that Giratina is going to farm down and take that game. A perfect 5-0 set right here on the back of the new Sacred Fire Ho-Oh, bringing this trainer up to 3108. GG, thank you for the submission. So my initial impressions on Sacred Fire Ho-Oh is that this Pokemon is borderline busted. You definitely are going to want to build one for the Master League. 100% worth the investment. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.